the most magnificent medical advances of our century happened in 1954. A Canadian doctor performed the first successful kidney transplant between two identical twins. And since then, thousands of organ transplants have been done. It's become a life-saving procedure for many disease conditions that were considered incurable at one time. But it has also provided a way of giving a life to others. The demand for organ transplants and the supply of organ donors is growing. In 1992, a Florida couple gave birth to a child without a formally formed brain. Baby Teresa was born with no brain cortex, which is the top part of the brain, a condition known as anencephaly. Infants with this disorder do not survive longer than a few hours, and in some cases a few days after birth. Teresa's parents were denied the option to be able to donate their child's organs because the child was simply not dead yet. It raises the question, why not? The child is going to die anyway. It's inevitable. Teresa's parents say that there's no harm in declaring these babies dead and donating their organs. So before we kind of go into any real debate, we really should define what is dead. What does legally dead mean? For you to be dead, there has to be an irreversible cessation of respiratory and circulatory function. So from a legal standpoint, anencephalic newborns are not legally brain dead because in most cases the lower brain stem is still operating and maintaining vital functions like the respiratory system and the heartbeat for hours or even days after birth. So as it stands, it's illegal to use anencephalic newborns as organ donors before they are declared entirely brain dead. And most often, they're allowed to die naturally, with their organs becoming useless for transplant at that point. So the ethical debate comes up, should parents have the right to donate the organs of their anencephalic newborns before the physicians declare the child to be legally brain dead? Should we use our common sense? Should we say, well, this child's going to die anyway, let's be able to use their organs for a better purpose and save another life? Or should we stick with a technicality? I believe if we change this law, we're going to open a door that we will not be able to shut again. If they were to change it and declare anencephalic newborns brain dead before respiratory death, because that was what would have to happen, I think it would create danger and it would create this slippery slope in our society. One of the big fears would be that there would be organ farming, organ farming meaning that some women would go to full term just to abort it to sell their baby's organs for money. So even if you don't think that's really going to happen, the reality is it will. We are we're human. We're going to do crazy and horrific things. But beyond that, it's going to create a very gray line for doctors. Doctors might even use harvest organs for coma victims, or they might even use them for children with non-fatal brain defects. But physicians have to give this oath when they become doctors that they will do no harm. So there's the kind of ethical debate. Can they do this without creating harm? Not as it stands, no. I think at this point what I need to bring home is that the risks, outweigh the benefits. At the results of the number of anencephalic infants born full term has decreased so much that the potential benefit the attempts of using their organs for transplant is minimum. And the reason I say that is because technology has taken off so much that we can detect this way before we even have to get to that point. A lot of times people will abort and before they even have to go to it. So the risks outweigh the benefits, and I really, really strongly believe that we should not even attempt to change this law.